This is the podcast. This is the Obsidian Podcast.
I'm
Bayla.
I'm Liam.
And then we have special guest Adri today. Perfect. So Adri's here with us today, and we are eating rice upon her request.
Double happiness. Oh.
Liam.
God. Hey, we're
Keep this in. No, keep it in. Keep it in.
Double happiness is a local restaurant. Adri likes rice.
No, why are you kidding? Okay.
Adri's a big rice fan, and she requested rice on her podcast.
Yep. On my podcast now.
Yeah, she's taking over. Because clearly Liam is so bad.
Yeah. We're all starting, guys. All right, so we have she's going to be releasing a story.
Oh,
on.
yeah, she is.
What is it on?
Ask her, not me.
Adri, what's your story on?
Okay, so my story is on the internet trend CoreCore, which is a hashtag under the subgenre called niche talk.
Yeah.
And these are basically these minute or two long edits of just completely random videos, and people are calling it a new form of art.
Yeah, I was just wondering how you even found this section of TikTok to write about, because I have never heard of it, so I don't know how you stumble across.
Yeah, so like the name implies, it's very, very niche. And yeah. I say that because it usually has no other tags other than niche talk and CoreCore and then maybe FYP, so For You page, or some other random.
Yeah.
But some of these get over 1 million or 2 million views, and then they kind of fade into obscurity. There's channels that are completely dedicated just to making these, CoreCore videos.
That sounds okay. I've never heard of this, but you showed me a few videos, and it was just super weird.
Yeah, I think TikTok trends in general are most of the time weird. There are a few that are funny and I enjoy, but there are some that come up any dance TikTok I'm not a fan of. Do you guys remember Kiki, Do You Love Me?
Amazing
that,
song.
No. Is it don't be, you're not serious, are you?
I'm not serious.
No, you would totally be serious.
I'm not serious, but I also listen to it because it's really funny.
Okay. I think I don't necessarily. I'm just saying trends on TikTok, normally not great. I'm just wondering why are people considering it art?
Yeah. So I think I watched probably 3 videos before I realized that it was an actual hashtag. But I looked through the comments and people are saying it's art because it's literally the anti-trend. So people will put together the most random clips and they'll put no hashtags on it and they'll put no caption, and it'll be out there, but it'll gain attention because they didn't do anything. It could take you maybe 20 minutes to edit, and you can go onto iMovie and you can just screen record some of these videos, and you can crop it, and all you have to do is put some music over it and you're done. So people are calling it an art trend because some of these edits do touch on really really things like global warming or domestic violence or media addiction, and then others are just completely random
and just they just have themes of sad or happy,
or they just have themes of chaos.
Yeah,
and that's what makes them unique, because people are putting their own spin onto it, and it's really touching on what do we call art, because art is subjective, right? You could call a blank canvas art, but somebody else might not see it as art. So it's really up to the viewer, how they interpret it and, what they take away from that.
Yeah. I mean, go for it.
I don't even completely get, what the whole core thing is.
Oh, well, it isn't... There was, everyone has, they have a lot of cores for fashion or,
yeah, I get those.
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
all those are, but,
That's just the same thing, right?
Because the only other core I've heard of, other than the fashion ones, because I haven't been on TikTok a ton lately, heard of this thing called Goblin Core.
I'm not sure what that is.
You know what I think that is? I think that's millennial TikTok.
Oh,
I'm a little goblin.
No, I saw something on YouTube about it, and it's people genuinely run around their house and think that they're goblins, and have a sack and pick things up and put them in them and talk like they're a goblin. And they post TikToks about it.
You know, okay, definitely a tangent, but you know one of my favorite TikTok trends? It's like when there's that video of that little flying man with the green hat.
Oh yeah, this is me as a baby.
Yeah, I feel like I showed that to you and you didn't get it, but it reminds me of a goblin. I feel like that little white guy flying is a goblin to me. Or
he more looked like have you ever seen like the Keebler elves? They bake the cookies under the tree.
You know what the Keebler elves are, right?
No.
Well, that's what they remind me of.
How do you not know Look up the Keebler elves real quick.
Okay. Oh, okay. So I recognize it like immediately.
Yeah.
But I definitely don't remember them making cookies under a tree.
They made it in a tree. Sorry, in a tree.
In a tree? Okay.
And I think one of the ads was their tree catching on fire, and they were like, "That's why some of our cookies are crispy."
That's hilarious.
Oh, that's kind of cute.
It wasn't. I think they had a casualty.
Yeah, probably. You know, like days since the last incident, be 0.
Days since the last casualty.
Yeah, literally. Days since the last crispy cookie, 0.
True.
We'll definitely put in some clips of CoreCore TikToks just because I feel like they're so hard to explain.
Yeah.
And like you're explaining it super well, but then it's also how do you even I think we should definitely put some in for context.
Okay. Editor's note here. I'm the editor Mon, and here is the a mashup of those TikToks. They are very strange, and audio listeners, you might want to switch to video. Okay, here we go.
What is this? What is this, please?
A murderer killed a couple, then chewed on the man's face while believing he was half dog, half man.
When did you start to feel this way? When did you start to realize this?
I think I always knew. I thought that success was all I needed. I thought those would be the things that would bring happiness. And then when those things came, the happiness wasn't there.
It's not your fault.
You can't handle real emotions, Theodore.
They are real emotions. How would you know?
Every man has your voice.
Ja, jag älskar det. Men jag älskar det inte.
Rotten kids, you work your life out.
I love you too.
I am just as confused as you are. Back to the show.
To go back on the core thing too. Like cores are usually like, like take cottagecore for example. Like they have like very set rules. So like, certain footage, if like certain dress, people will take these videos and they'll edit them together, but they have to be like a specific style because otherwise people will be like, this isn't cottagecore. Like, what are you doing? And then they'll go on to certain like areas of TikTok and people will have that as like their culture kind of. And so they'll stay on that side of TikTok because that's what the algorithm feeds them. Mm-hmm. But with CoreCore, like it's literally just the amalgamation of like everything you could ever think of. So it's hard to define like what is and what isn't CoreCore.
Yeah. So is your whole story like defining it pretty much, or just kind of like just giving it any sort of attention, right?
I think the second one, because you can't really define like an anti-trend, right?
Totally.
You can't define something that like is defined by the fact that like people don't really know like what the limits are on that. Because you can like in a CoreCore video, I mean, I'm sure maybe this will be in a CoreCore video if it blows up, right? People put anything that they find interesting into it because to them like CoreCore is the most subjective art can be.
Yeah.
Why'd you decide to make your story on CoreCore?
Because the first CoreCore edit I saw had Catboy Walter White in it, and I decided
you have to after you see that.
Yeah.
Some brilliant minds put hours of work into
this.
When
I looked at the videos you sent me, I thought it was actually really interesting because it's like they collect. It's just pretty much from what my understanding is that they collect different moments from whatever media source, right? And then they put it together to evoke like the same feeling, which kind of feels cool because it's like so many things end up feeling the same, so many different things and so many different shows and everything like that.
Yeah, and especially with that, like I sent you some that were very like like had themes to them, but some of them are just like completely like they'll touch on a bunch of different stuff.
Yeah.
That's why like in the comments people will be like, why did you make this sad edit? Like, I'm so sad now. And then like the editor will be like, I didn't make it sad, you made it sad. And then it'll be like this super meta, like, you know, like reverse, like, you made it sad, this is all your fault, you know, or like, this is how you take it away.
Right.
I don't know. It's very interesting to me.
I liked the more thematic ones, I guess, just because it seemed like it had some sort of sense to it, you know, but I could understand a trend that's not a trend being super confusing and being...
It's also interesting because we've never really had, you know, like technology's progressed so much in like the last 20 or 40 years that like, you know, if you went like back in time, like 50 years, this wouldn't even make sense to like anybody who hasn't heard of like, you know, a social media platform. It's something that we've never seen before, and it's something that like, you know, maybe it's like a passing thing, but also like people are just like legitimately like trying to make something interesting and new with like the tools that they have. And since we're just accessing like this huge scope of technology, you know, like maybe there'll be like CoreCore edits in the metaverse. Like, I don't know. I think that'd be kind of fun.
I think it's cool. I feel like whenever there's something new that's come out, I always think it's cool because it's hard to do anything new now in my mind. Like, everyone just does the same type of art and copies each other. And I think it's cool that there's like a different trend that's come out. Just unique one.
I feel like this trend was almost... Okay, I still don't fully understand this trend. It's crazy. Yeah, you didn't tell me about it beforehand. Or I guess I didn't ask you either.
Yeah, you're supposed to...
This is your podcast.
Yeah, why am I supposed to...
I thought I would get it easy. I thought it'd be more of a simple topic. But
maybe, actually, I feel like we what was it? We conspired and didn't tell you anything just so you'd be really confused.
Yeah, I asked before and you're like, oh, we'll show you.
Yeah, because we did, kind of.
But I feel like, because Instagram, everyone's, for like years, people have just been posting like low quality, bad pictures and slides that don't mean anything together. Yeah. So I feel like that's almost CoreCore.
Yeah, I mean,
anything can be CoreCore.
Yeah, that's literally the entire point of CoreCore. You can have like anything. You could put pictures of your dog in a slideshow, and you could be like, "This is CoreCore," and people would be like, "Oh my god, amazing!" You know?
Well, this is CoreCore. I love it right now.
Yeah, if this blows up, I guarantee you somebody will put it in their CoreCore video.
I'm deciding funny. This is CoreCore now.
I mean, that's...
Maybe you have to make it into a video or into a social media thing.
I think you could edit it to be more of a CoreCore video, but at the moment, this is a podcast.
I was wondering if there's like an origin to the trend that you were able to find, or if it's like, so, I mean, I understand, like, how could you find that? But
yeah. So I looked through a couple articles, and people were citing, like, all sorts of different people who, like, you know, like, had first used the hashtag and stuff. But, like, I think the real origin comes from, again, those, like, slideshows. Like, those slideshows of random stuff with, like, the music over them. Because people will take that and, you know, they'll have, you know, like, maybe no correlation to them. But they're slideshows and they're put to music. So people will be like, oh, my God, this is my kind of stuff right here.
Yeah.
You know, people will post, like, poetry and, like, random pictures. And then it'll have, like, a general theme. So I think that's really where it, like, the idea of it came from, and then like editors kind of put their own spin on it with like videos and stuff.
Yeah, I think just I like TikTok making that feature of just photos, like a slideshow of photos, was probably like the best thing they could have done. Like, everyone loves it and everyone uses it. Or like when it's like swipe to the beat and you, like, you know, you sing the song. Or
I mean, it was
like...
kind of scary when it first came out though, because like people would like, they would put like jump scares at like the very end, and it'd be like these horrifying pictures, and then they'd be like, it's safe, and it wasn't safe.
Yeah.
I don't know, that kind of traumatized me.
No, I remember that too, because it was like they didn't know that was going to happen, but like of course it did, because it's the internet. But I think it's like really creative, because even though like there are slideshows on Instagram, there's no music. You know, so it's just not as interactive in a way.
I need to get back on TikTok. I've been off TikTok for like 2 weeks.
A whole 2 weeks.
Because I forgot my password.
Oh my god.
Your TikTok, did you like get a new phone or something and you had to log back in?
No, I just deleted it.
Okay.
Forget why, but I
that's fair.
I forgot my password.
That's fair.
And then I was too lazy to reset it, so I've been just not looking at TikTok. I just scroll Instagram Reels instead.
Oh, wow.
Which is so much
dreadful
worse.
dreadful life. I was also wondering with CoreCore, if you think this is this trend like more special than all the other trends, or is it just another trend that you found that you wanted to write about?
Like, is it special to me?
I guess. Or is it like, because how did it stand out for you to want to write about it? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, it stood out because I've never really seen anything like it. And then also, like, I looked it up online, like, at that point in time, like, virtually nobody had written anything about it. So it was like, am I hallucinating this?
Right.
But, you know, it isn't special from other trends. I'm sure it'll die off, but the crazy thing with CoreCore is that it'll probably come back in another, you know, form. Like, you can probably go in time to like 2 years from now and people will be making videos, probably not in the highest, like the higher quantity that they do now, but like, you know, maybe it'll evolve, or, you know, like maybe like what I was saying about like the metaverse, you know, like maybe we'll all be plugged in and then they'll have like interactive metaverse CoreCore edits, but they're not going to be called CoreCore. I'm sure they'll be called something different.
It's just the same kind of like abstract idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool. I was also wondering, like, target audience, is it anyone? Like, because, I mean, I've never heard of it. Liam's never heard of it. Milan, have you heard of it?
No.
Even our editor hasn't heard of CoreCore. What the heck?
Well, I've never been on TikTok ever, so.
Yeah.
Okay. We gotta expose you to
No,
that.
don't bring him up. That's not something I would want
Okay,
for anyone.
next episode, Milan scrolls TikTok for 3 hours.
Then we all just watch and
Well, the first hour is just going to be like the standard stuff that comes up, and it's going to be incredibly boring. But after he gets into like the really niche stuff, then it'll be really weird.
Have you seen people trying to speed run TikTok?
I have.
And they start from just a random like blank page, and then they try and get it to like alpha male TikTok. So like, and it doesn't really work, I don't think, but I kind of want to try it. It kind of sounds like a fun afternoon activity.
I think I saw someone do that and they gave up.
Yeah.
Oh, to answer your question.
Yeah, sorry.
Wait, sorry, what was it again? I forgot.
I just was wondering target audience of it at all, if there is one, you know?
Yeah, so I think it really goes out to like the jaded TikTok viewers, because like something I've been seeing recently is like this like cultural phenomenon where like people are not really caring, or I wouldn't say caring, but they're caring too much, and it's putting emotional stress on them. So like, you know, the news that the media produces, you know, it's like very, very sad all the time, and you're always getting like these crazy amounts of like depressing or like really intense news. So like, you know, obviously you wouldn't want to see it. So people are just going like LMAO, you know, to like crazy stuff that's actually like impacting like democracy and like the world.
Totally.
So it's something that like people are getting tired of it, and then, you know, like they go and see a CoreCore video and they're like, oh my god, like this actually sums up my feelings, because, you know, the entire point of the like TikTok is that you can have access to like millions of videos at your fingertips. You can scroll through probably like 2,000 a night and you probably wouldn't get tired.
Yeah.
So it's like CoreCore just puts all those into one video, and it makes it like more easily accessible for your brain to like comprehend, because we have such short attention spans.
Especially because of TikTok. Like, I remember there are times that I'll be watching a YouTube video and I'll be like, okay, I'm bored, and I go on TikTok because a YouTube video is too long. I'm like, this is like a 20-minute video, you know? It's like, before TikTok, that wasn't a problem at all, I've noticed. And I think other people have, like, felt the same way.
Yeah, so the trend is very self-aware, I would say. It, like, it always keeps your attention, because it's so short and it's so random.
Yeah.
Still so confused by CoreCore.
Well, we can...
I don't think I'll ever fully understand. Like, I feel like an old person saying that, but it's...
I mean, maybe...
I understand what the trend is, but the way you explain it confuses me a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah, what the...
Yeah, it is completely your fault.
No.
What do you guys think of the rice, by the way, from local restaurants? No happiness.
Are we being sponsored?
We're not being sponsored.
Actually, I feel like we should get a rice shot, like with a fancy camera that you could. Yeah. I was gonna ask if you guys knew anything, like if you guys were on the government TikTok recently about with the whole House election and the representatives.
Oh.
I was on like government TikTok for a whole 3 days.
Like Nancy Pelosi, just retired, XR, so here's my vlog, staying at home.
No, not me.
What has happened in the past 2 weeks? I didn't know that. the House is voting or whatever. I don't pay attention to government stuff.
Aren't you a senior? In government, you have to take government to graduate.
We are talking about the homeless problem in government for the past.
You're not.
I know more about this than
you're not talking about the House of Representatives election.
Nope.
For the
I haven't
first,
talked about it at all.
For the first time in 100 years, they had to do multiple votes
because everyone hates this guy.
So there was obviously the Republicans have a majority this next 2 years, and 20 of them would not vote for Kevin McCarthy. They were like, no, we're not gonna. So they had to do 15 votes.
These are far right Republicans, by the way. These are the people who are the attack on the Capitol wasn't true. It wasn't an attack.
Who's Kevin McCarthy?
Kevin McCarthy
He wants to become Speaker of the House.
Is he a Republican or a Democrat?
He's a Republican. Because Republicans have control.
Because Republicans vote for Republicans.
Wait, why didn't they want to vote? So they didn't want to vote for him?
No,
or they did?
They didn't because they didn't trust him with the. He had moved in his stuff before winning the election. He was cocky. He thought he was gonna win.
So basically,
weird.
He's been eyeing this speaker position for 20 years, right? Because Nancy Pelosi filled the spot. She's a Democrat. That's when Democrats had control of the House. But now that Republicans have control of the House, they have to elect a speaker. So they were like, oh, we would nominate, this guy. And he was like, sick. I'll get it first nomination. Moves his stuff in. Everybody votes. They're like, no, actually, we hate you. And it's just 10 people who are they literally
so stubborn.
They arm behind his back. They wrangle him so he has literally no power. And they can dismiss him without any thought. So these 10 people are getting all the power, and they're getting the opportunity to silence him at a moment's notice. And this goes on over 10 times, and he just keeps voting. He keeps making people vote, and none of the new representatives get sworn in because by law nothing can happen until a new speaker is voted. Yeah. Because the Speaker of the House is after line, if the president gets shot, then it goes to vice president. If she gets shot, then it's Speaker of the House. So in order to have that line of succession, you have to have a Speaker of the House.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
I know. Well, it's crazy because by now, Kevin McCarthy won. There was 15 rounds of voting.
Oh, they let him in. I don't know anything about this guy, but I don't like that he moved his stuff in early.
Yeah, right?
Kevin McCarthy basically ceded all of his power so he could have the title.
Yeah, so now there's pretty much alt-right Republicans that are running Congress for the next 2 years. And the Democrats, during all of this, all voted for the same person every single time. There was no commotion, nothing like that.
They voted for a different guy.
They voted, they voted for obviously they didn't vote for McCarthy. They voted for their Democrat candidate, but they weren't changing their votes like the Republican side was.
Yeah.
I just saw TikToks of all of them bringing popcorn into the house because it was just entertaining.
Did they actually bring popcorn in?
So all of these representatives that were, got elected, in this past year were supposed to be sworn in 2 weeks ago. So usually when representatives are sworn in, they bring their families in and stuff. Yeah. So these families were in the house, just waiting for people to get sworn in. So you had babies and kids just running around, people were just bored and, it was insane. It was really crazy.
And so the last time this happened 100 years ago, how many rounds of voting do you think it took?
1.
Liam?
I don't know.
No, the last time there were multiple votes. So 1 was the only answer that was completely wrong.
I don't know,
138. They voted 138 times. You might want to fact check me. It's 138.
That seems right.
Yeah, right?
Right enough.
It took them 3 months.
It took them 3 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They voted 138 times?
Yes.
And basically nothing happened for 3 months because the entire house was in a stalemate. So it's actually really bad that this happened. But
it's that it didn't take 138 times.
It's funny, but it's also really bad.
You really do, especially since you can vote now.
Yeah. What?
God, they should not let me vote.
No. What else was I gonna say about that? I don't know.
Was there a fight that broke out?
Probably.
I don't even want to say that I know. That was just a rumor.
I know.
But I feel
that's why I'm please fact check me because I don't want to say anything.
I feel like there's a fist fight that happened on the on the floor, and I would not be surprised.
That would be. Oh! I was gonna talk about how tedious the voting process is. Okay, so one lady is up there. She says the representative's name, and then they yell the vote back at them.
Yeah.
And so during this whole thing, if McCarthy lost only 4 votes, they had to redo the election.
Oh my goodness.
But they don't just stop it. They have to finish the whole thing. So it's like the lady will go, she'll say like Representative Jolie, and then she'll yell a name, and then she has to do that for 135 people. No, way more. Way more. Like
over 500.
Yeah.
I thought.
I'm gonna
No.
Google it. I think it's like 235. That's my
If
guess.
I'm super wrong.
I know, cut it out too if I'm super wrong. Oh, it's
right, right?
you were closer than
I know.
I said 35. I said 235. You said 500. It's 435.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah, because it's. Do you know? How
Don't
deep
know
should
what-
I go into this? Do you know how many representatives there are for
each state?
like like obviously it's different based how are here, let's quiz you. How are representatives selected? Like
Let's new topic.
do you know anything about senator? The
New
senators? How many
topics.
senators for each state? That one's easy.
2.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Oh my god.
New
Did
topic.
Tina vote?
I don't care about government.
No, because she's a
Tina?
Tina Kotek.
Oh, she's a senator.
I know. That's why.
So no. I don't remember I don't remember who our representatives are, which isn't great. But if Wes was here, he'd tell us.
Yeah, if Wes was here, he'd tell us everything.
He would. But yeah, I thought that TikTok with the popcorn, funniest thing ever. And my government teacher, I showed him one. He was just dying laughing the entire time. We were like watching the live stream of the election every day during school.
Yeah, I should probably learn a little bit more about politics and government.
Graduate.
I don't have to. I have to get a passing grade. I don't have to learn anything.
I know, but it's
important to learn.
It's definitely important. I should probably know more about this.
Journalism is our thing.
Amazing.
And
segue.
True.
Journalism our thing, and it
Please
does
donate
directly
to the-
relate.
Please donate to the Obsidian.
Government.
We are a non-profit, and we are taking donations.
But like, are we?
We will be.
Now.
Now we are.
Okay. So to segue from government.
Okay.
So we
To
can
get away from that.
Move on
Yeah,
from that topic.
yeah.
You're adding another story about milk.
That was a really clean transition.
Isn't it obvious whenever he transitions?
Hey, I just want to get. I would do a smoother transition.
In order to transition right now, Adri, talk about milk.
I
That's
just
what you
don't want to
sounded
be in
like.
that topic anymore.
I know. That's
What do you want to know about milk?
What's your story on about milk? I didn't know you were doing a story about milk. till,
Isn't
like,
this something
20
that you
minutes
should
ago.
research before you like interview me?
I did. Okay, I let Bailey do the research this time.
This is your podcast.
This is our podcast. But I didn't. I knew you were doing the story on TikTok. You never said anything about doing a story on
so
milk.
that's a whole other story. She was only gonna do one of them.
I was gonna do the strawberry milk one,
Yeah.
but then I realized that there was like nothing to talk about. But then I
Yeah.
realized that there was stuff to talk about, so then I wrote it.
Are you
up.
specifically focused on Eberhard, like local, or are you doing more of a widespread thing?
I'm thinking. I'm not completely done with the story, but I'm thinking right now. Focus on strawberry milk, touching on cultural impact, and this doesn't have to be on the podcast. This is kind of just like technical stuff, but like cultural impact, and then like like that. Like in the media, and then also like 2010s, like people were scared that their kids were fat, so like strawberry milk like was basically taken away. But I'm gonna write it basically like a narrative story. So like it's our underdog hero strawberry milk, and then we have the the PTA that's like coming in and being like, we don't want our kids to be fat. And if you actually wanted stuff like that to change, you would lobby like giant companies like McDonald's.
Yeah, for sure.
Or maybe you would go to the government and be like, hey, why are we paying for medical care?
Yeah.
Why aren't we getting all this stuff for like free? Why don't we have access to like organic food?
I do think it's like organic food is more expensive, which is the root of the problem. Like not many people can afford to eat healthy.
Yeah, so it's like childhood obesity is like, I like to think of it in like 3 factors. So you have like the source of food, so like expensive groceries that are more organic, but they also cost a lot. So you're thinking like $4 for like a thing of strawberries.
Yeah.
Versus you can always go to like McDonald's, or you could go to like some cheaper grocery store, like an alternative, and they'll have sugary processed stuff, but, for people who can't afford, the super organic stuff, that's more like ethical for them to spend their money on that. So there's that. There's also like the lack of like emphasis on like physical education in students. So like now they have like gym classes are like mandatory, at least for us, until, I think it was like sophomore year. So I had to take health online, but like after that I was done. But like in some states they don't even like prioritize it. Right. So, and then the other thing was like the food that, school districts were giving to children, which was not, like organic and was not, I guess, like, it was just kind of like the cheapest thing that they could afford. Yeah. Right? Because we don't pay our school systems. But because of that, they were like, I know what to do. Michelle Obama and Barack Obama, they enter the White House.
Wasn't it her that invented that?
Let's move.
Yeah, let's move. And was it like 50 minutes a day, or what was her like slogan there?
So,
was it 30 minutes a day?
Yeah, it was something along that line. I didn't want to get too deep into that because it's
I just
a lot about Michelle Obama.
When we were little.
Yeah, so basically people were like, all of our children are fat. What do we do? So they elect Barack Obama in 2008. Yeah. Right? They spend 2 years in the White House. Michelle Obama's like, I need to take it up. I need to be the first first lady who's like actually does stuff. So she goes and she makes the Let's Move initiative. She starts this off with like a little garden in the White House lawn, and she's like, we need to, end the childhood obesity epidemic. Mm-hmm. So she makes it basically like nationwide. School districts have to provide like better food, like nutritious food there's like 5 different categories for food, like food groups, right? I don't know. It was like 5 or something.
I remember like vegetables, dairy, protein, fruits.
So it was like stuff like this, and especially in like the 2010s, there was like a lot of eating disorder stuff.
Yes, for sure.
I'm pretty sure a lot of people had eating disorders in 2010, but like, around that time, people were really concerned with like obesity in general, and they were like, we got to stop this at the source. We got to stop it with kids. So they would like make it mandatory to have like, like the 50 minutes a day of, like walking, something as simple as that. And they were like, we're finding great results. And then parents were like, let's take this up a notch. Let's get rid of chocolate milk. And everybody freaked out because it had been a staple for like God knows how long. Yeah. But now we have like some districts actually did ban it. And then I think our district, the Ben Lapine district, was considering it, but I only heard that from the elementary schools, so I'm not really sure what's going to happen with, like, all the other schools. But they don't want, like, they mandate you to take fruit, even if you're not going to eat it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, even when
you have to take fruit, but you can pay for your lunch, go right out the lunch line, drop it in the no thank you bin, and you can just walk off.
So it's like...
And they just recycle the fruit. Like, they just...
Yeah.
That sounds super wasteful.
It's that way they don't get in trouble.
And, I mean, it is better to, like, have that bin in case someone's extra hungry and they want something extra to eat, that they didn't pay for. Like, it's free food. But it's also a weird requirement to have when, when they're... I don't know, it's a weird requirement to have, especially when there's so many bigger things that are actually the problem. Yeah. Like, obviously, school lunches could be better. But it's not anyone's fault. Like, it's not... the like people making it's fault, right? They're not given enough money, which is a problem with the government. Like, there's so many things that are so much bigger than
it's like systemic stuff that we should be focusing on rather than like dumb stuff like we're giving our but the main thing with that is like basically you have like 3 options if you're a kid, right? Maybe 4 if you live in like a different district, like the juice. Our juice kind of, like, gets, like, on and off, so I'm not going to include that. But, like, you have Water Fountain, which was closed at a time for COVID, so you had to bring a water bottle. So kids who didn't have a water bottle, didn't bring one, and they couldn't drink from the water fountain, they're stuck with the 2 options, which are, like, the regular, like, plain milk and then chocolate milk. And obviously, if you're a kid, you're not going to go and be like, I'm going to have plain white milk.
Because anyone that drinks just a glass of milk are crazy. And that includes, I bet Liam drinks milk, and my little brother drinks milk.
I'm lactose intolerant.
That's true, actually. I forgot I got that text. We were gonna get pizza. And
yeah, she's like, Adri wants pizza. I'm like, I'm lactose intolerant.
Which is really funny. It fits you.
Yeah, thank you.
I feel like he's...
Wait, what about lactose intolerant kids? What are they?
They
They have
get juice.
milk and
They
chocolate
have-
milk.
they-
That's
yeah,
the only
exactly.
option.
Exactly. So that's when they bring out the juices, or they have alternatives, which are like, you know, like dairy-free milk, which is like disgusting.
disgusting.
It is disgusting.
I like almond
Or
milk.
they're like, you can drink water from the water fountain. But like, obviously with COVID, some of that stuff got shut down, and I don't know if that's the same for like all school districts, but I definitely know it was it was really prevalent for our school district because you were only allowed to bring a water bottle. Like, you couldn't like put your mouth to the thing and like drink anymore, which is like every elementary school kid.
I just put my head in the sink if I was super thirsty.
Yeah, like no, you know the things like that. You fill your water bottle, right?
Yeah,
Your
yeah.
water bottle. People just put their heads under that all the time.
How do you
Really?
fit your head under there? There's like an inch of space
Liam could show us.
We'll do a demonstration. Though. Put it in
Okay.
after. No, but people just put their head under and just drink right out of that. I don't know what your guys look like, but mine you can.
I
do
bet
that.
they're all the same. As the milk expert in this room.
You're the milk expert.
No.
Oh,
No,
Adri,
like
okay.
talking to the milk
The
expert.
strawberry and
Talking-
chocolate milk
You didn't let me
expert.
finish. So strawberry milk existed at our district. I remember that.
Yeah. For like a hot 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And I think it was a special thing because it was like in March. I think they wanted it to be during Valentine's Day, but it came in too late, so they just did it in March.
Yeah.
So it was just like a weird special thing.
For some reason, I remember root beer milk.
I vaguely remember that.
I
too.
don't know if that was something that was given to us or if I saw it online, but I remember when I was really little and I didn't have like internet access then.
You gotta look that up because
I will.
I'm genuinely curious.
I
I
will.
feel like
I
that's.
do-
I wouldn't be surprised if that's something that happens,
Wait.
but like I have never heard of that before.
Have you guys heard of Pilk? Have you seen that?
Pilk?
Pepsi and milk. There's an ad for it.
Oh, I've seen it on TikTok.
This is why kids are fat in America.
I know. Well, no, it's like Pepsi is advertising like, "Hey, put milk in our soda. It tastes really good."
Oh.
And I've seen TikToks of people trying that.
I forgot. Some schools would just like flat out give their kids soda, like, you know, soda and juices. I don't think that was the case with our school district, but I can't speak for any others. But like strawberry milk, chocolate milk, and sodas were usually the first things to go.
Sounds terrible.
Yeah, it was terrible. And everybody, like, you know, there was a bunch of memes made about it. You know, Michelle Obama, like, everybody hated her for it. But then, like, all the parents loved her because, you know, she did dramatically change the way that we view, like, childhood obesity.
Yeah.
Hey, shout out Michelle Obama.
Yeah,
she wants to
shout out
come on the
Michelle
podcast.
I would love to talk to Michelle Obama.
We can get whatever food you want from any local restaurant.
Oh, I'm actually pulling up a Bend Bulletin article on this right
On
now.
root beer?
On
On
I
root
looked
beer
up. It says got root beer. Schools resort to flavored milk.
That's so disgusting.
We can link
That's
this.
really gross.
Yeah, Elk Meadow Elementary.
Actually, wouldn't that be like a root beer float, though?
I don't know. I think
I don't know.
so.
I feel like it would taste
Monday was Root Beer Milk Day in the Ben LaPine School District. So
Ugh.
I do remember.
What date was this?
2003.
Yeah, so this is like...
So this was before I was
You were born.
But I do remember root beer milk being at our schools.
Well, I trust you on this. I've never seen root beer milk in
I
my
don't
life.
remember the taste. I remember the little root beer.
I remember.
Logo
I
thing,
never.
not the logo, but like the picture.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was never. I never got school lunches when I was a kid, so I always was
Okay.
like, no, I was jealous. I wanted school lunches because I wanted to get like I wanted chocolate milk.
Sucks for you.
I know.
It was
No, it's
expensive.
fine. I know, right? It's like whatever. I just remember when I was a kid, like looking and seeing root beer milk, and I was like,
No, that's actually...
it's like ingrained in my childhood.
No, yeah, but last year we had strawberry milk for like a good 2 weeks, and it was insane. Everybody wanted strawberry milk, and that was when it was free. So people would just come in and just like take meals, and then they would grab the strawberry milk and they'd put the meals in the no thank you bin, and they'd just
to get
take
the
off with their
strawberry
strawberry milk. So like you'd have like this excess of food in the no thank you bin, and you would just have like people like strawberry milk cartons all over the ground because people were hoarding it. It was in like stockpiles. You know, I heard a rumor about a girl putting a mini fridge in her locker because she wanted to hoard the strawberry milk. I was like,
really
how are you even gonna fit a mini fridge in your locker?
Someone would find a way.
I don't know why people care that much. You could buy it at the store. It's like,
But the point is, it was free.
Yeah.
So like,
And it's like something to do when you're bored at lunch, you know, like
drink milk.
yeah, like or steal it from people and put it in your lockers and install a mini fridge.
It was really good though. Like I legitimately love strawberry milk, and the kind that, like, they got, because it was the Everhards. We only have the Everhards, like variation, but, like, I personally think the strawberry milk kind is better than the chocolate milk kind, and it's not just because, like, I have the chocolate milk every day. I just think, like, strawberry milk is better.
Yeah, I've had strawberry milk for sure, but I don't know if I've had the Everhards version.
It's good.
I feel like your guys' school might be different. But no one stays for lunch. Other than freshmen, no one gets school lunch at all. Everyone's gone. And then, like,
some people get school lunch and then leave. Is that not an option?
I don't know. I feel like no one gets school lunch. No one that I know gets school lunch at all.
What I am curious about is, like, obviously throughout COVID last year, was lunch free? Lunch was free and breakfast, that little breakfast. I went in for breakfast every single day.
Oh, I got a bagel every day.
Me too. You would run in there, push people over. I would, like, fight for a sausage.
I actually wrote 2 stories on this, but, well, 1.5. But
yeah,
it was crazy because, you know, like, our head of lunch staff is named Michelle. She's a super nice woman. She took me through, like, a whole tour, by the way. It was, like, crazy. Yeah. They have, like, these giant, like, canned goods, but they're, like, bigger than any canned goods you can find at, like, a Costco. But she told me about, like, you know, how she was having so much trouble because so many people wanted food. Mm-hmm. So she would have to, like, call, like, weeks and months in advance to get, like, these huge shipments of food. Yeah. And she would, like, run out every day. But, like, now she, like, compensated because she was like, oh, well, you know, I mean, even though we petitioned and, like, we had a union that, like, asked the government, like, pleaded for them to not, you know, like, not have kids pay for school lunches anymore, they, like, just decided to do it anyways. So, like, she, like, adjusted. She was like, less people are gonna be buying lunches, but, like, even less than that, like, less than ever before, you know, people have been, like, you know, just flat out, like, not eating lunch because it's too expensive now.
That's what I was wondering. It's like, how could they, if they can afford to give kids all across the country free lunch for a year, why take it away?
That's the entire point. Yeah. I called up this guy named Terry. Can't remember his last name. I also called up Gara Schluter. They're supposed to be... Gara Schluter. They're supposed to be, like representatives that we could talk to. People in the government who I thought would know about it. We also talked to the Lunch Ladies Union. Nobody could tell us why they decided to put it back on. Only that it was a government-made decision. Yeah. And that you can still qualify for free and reduced meals if you like, apply for it. And that only happens if you earn below a certain income. So even if people are, like, earning below a certain income, you have to go... You aren't automatically opted into it. You have to fill out the paperwork for it. So it's like, you know, some parents don't give their kids money for lunch, even if they are financially well off to afford it. So it's insane. Like, they have been providing free meals. Like they, during COVID, they provided, like, lunch and dinner because they knew that, like, you know, kids were, you know, the only meals that they would get was from school. But then they took it all away after, like, 2 years, and people were, like, really angry about it.
Yeah, wait, why do that only during COVID? It doesn't change anything
because it doesn't... COVID is... I mean, yeah, I don't think it makes any sense. I think it sucks that that's the way the system is. You know what I mean? Like, because if you can afford... Unless the government put all of their money into free school lunches for a year, and then they're like, oh, we have nothing left. Then maybe I could understand that, but like, that doesn't make sense at all.
This literally comes from, like, those systemic issues. Yeah, like, nothing in our budget is going towards, like, the education system. We don't have anything going towards, like, daycares or, like, pre-K. Mm-hmm. We don't have anything going towards, like, you know, medical workers. Yeah. All of it is going towards, like, other stuff that they deem, like, more important. But, like, this stuff just kind of gets, like, put to the side.
How long have you been working at daycare, or do you still do...
I don't work at the daycare.
Yeah, yeah.
But I did for a hot minute.
It seems like a cool job.
It was not a cool job.
Okay. It seems like a cool job for, like, a couple days. And then
this goes off the record, but the place I worked...
We have a bad mice problem at Ben High.
Oh, we have a bad mice problem at... my mom has mice in her office all the time.
I've never seen one.
She came back from Christmas break, and... her plant, she had a plant with, like, vines, you know, all the leaf off every single vine was just eaten. Oh, and there was a cactus that was eaten.
Cactus?
Yes. Like, the mice were just going ham in her office over break, just eating whatever they could.
Dude, some mice had a really rumbly tumbly to eat a cactus.
And I told you, I know I mentioned this to you, or I mentioned it to Jessie maybe, because my mom was talking about how Summit was possibly getting a cat to help with the mice problem.
That would be so cool.
And they were gonna name it Stormy Michael because our principal's name is Michael.
I edited that story. Apparently, they can't get a cat.
Why not?
I don't know. Like Jessie said that she asked like the entire apparently it was just like the wishes of like one person, but like you can't like people are allergic to cats, and then also like you can't. There's no guarantee that this cat will be like a good cat. So you could like adopt this cat and be like, oh my god, it's our mascot. But then like if it just like gets free reign, you know, like who knows what kids are gonna do to it, or you know, like what's it gonna do to protect itself? And you can't like confine it to the office. Somebody has to like go home and take care of it, or like set up a spot for it in the office.
I know when you think about it logistically, it's not a good idea. But then when you think of the idea of having
really
our own storm cat,
it's really cute.
I think it's a great idea.
I know, me too. But I think there should be like a hired person to specifically watch over the cat, because I just know some freshmen are gonna go kick it outside.
I know.
And I really do not want that to happen.
Go kick it.
They're gonna go kick it outside.
Does Bend High do senior pranks?
I don't know. I didn't hear of one in the past like 2 years, but
he's like, I'm not really sure, but it might be.
We've had talks about what we're gonna do this year, though.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm okay.
Well, not like a whole entire senior class, but like 15 of us. Yeah.
We had the senior prank we had last year.
I forgot what it was. It was something lame.
Well, they like pretty much vandalized the entire school. They like threw honey on the walls and then Cheerios.
That's not that funny.
No, like they were actually vandalizing the schools, and then they had them wear jumpers and like clean outside in order to graduate.
Oh yeah.
It was really funny. Just a warning for.
Are you gonna do a prank this year?
No. I don't think senior pranks are fun. I mean,
I think they're fun if you do
I think they could be.
Do something funny, like if everybody hates one teacher and you just like duct tape their entire desk. That would be kind of funny.
Exactly. Yeah, but it's also, I think they're funny or they're just like not, you know, and I feel like it depends on who in my class is doing the prank, because I feel like there will be some people that want to organize it that do exactly what happened last year, and other people that are more cool that would do something actually funny, you know. My
friend's dad went to Bend High, and he spray painted Mountain View rocks on Bend High, and the Summit kid, and not the Summit, the Mountain View kids got in trouble for it. That was a good prank.
Whoever's dad that was, shout out.
Last year, someone from Bend High came and spray painted the logo on Summit Lawn.
The Bend High logo or the Summit logo?
That's
Bend
High logo. And then
no, but I thought it was funny because our I don't know, some people in our staff just got red spray paint and put an X through it. That was it. Really? I'm sure I think they cleaned it. Like I'm sure it just got mowed up later on, but that was their temporary solution. It was like right in front of the sign on the loop.
Oh, I guess I never.
Right, it's a weird place. You don't really go there.
I mean, I never went through the front last year because all the side doors were always unlocked. So I just go in through the side, and I went out the side door once this year, and they had alarms go off, and people came out and yelled at me. So I was like, okay, I won't go through the side door anymore.
Yeah.
People have gotten detention just for being too close to it.
That's
to the door. Oh, for that one on the side.
All of them. You can only go out through the specific doors. I used to go out there every day.
I don't know if anyone's writing a story about this here, but and I'm not sure if this is the same at Bend High, but the amount of protocols we've gotten this year that have changed is insane. Every single time someone the doors are locked at all times. So if you leave to go to the bathroom and you come back, someone has to open it and let you in.
I'm the person
who sits right by
the door in Spanish,
me too.
And I hate it.
And the teachers all of them are just so annoyed because they have to stop whatever they're doing and open the door, and it just disrupts learning,
they'll
right?
Get in trouble if they don't do it.
And yeah,
Bend High is nothing like that
really?
At all. We have you have to scan when you come in.
If you're late or all the time, yeah, that's the same at our school.
That's it. And then we have a gate that they lock now,
and
it an alarm goes off if you go through it. People just jump over the gate.
Yeah,
and that's basically all we got now.
Yeah, I mean, at Summit, freshman year, so you weren't there. I don't know if you guys had.
I wasn't even
born
yet.
No, you weren't. They gave us each lanyards with our student ID on them, and we had to have them on our person all the time.
That would have been kind of cool, actually.
But it wasn't, because you had to have it around your neck. There was no put it in your pocket. It had to be around your neck.
That sounds terrible.
I think that's better than locking every single door though, because there's even it. had the situation where I like not even wanted to like go out for break because you know, like what are you gonna do? You're gonna go and you're gonna knock and you're gonna be like, hey, can you let me in? I needed to piss myself.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, literally, it's so annoying. And with the lanyard thing, like obviously it sounds like a good idea, but no one was wearing them, you know, because it was lame and they were bright green and it.
Yeah, we were
easier to like put it on your phone or something, you know, like a little like ID card.
Everyone's gonna have their phone on them all the time.
We're supposed to they were supposed to be super strict about walking around. Like you have to have a pass, like during class if you're walking around, and you have to have your ID on you. I wander around with no pass, and no one has ever stopped me and checked my ID.
You have to wander around with a pass at Summit, and then if you're gone for 10 minutes, your teachers are supposed to mark you absent.
Damn.
Because there was like a group of seniors last year that would just leave class for like 30 minutes and then come back. So now they're punishing all of us.
That happens at Bend High still.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, obviously I understand why they would police it, but it's like, I didn't do that, you know? If I want to leave for like 15 minutes, I'm still going to class. I just needed a break. And I'm like, saying hi to my mom.
Man.
Getting free food.
From where?
Her office. She has free food for everyone because
I'm gonna go see your mom.
People like I know Eliana was like dying at school and I was like, we're going to my mom's office, and I got her goldfish and a juice box.
I need to go see your mom.
Shout out Nurse Pam.
Shout out Nurse Pam. She's my favorite. Yeah, no, but I don't know. Not many people go to the nurse, so they don't really know, you know?
Does she stay at Summit? Or does she, like, go between?
She used to do that. She was originally at Cascade for a couple of years. She would go from Cascade to, like...
the elementary school, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Because I remember one time I was in middle school and I had to wait for the school nurse to come from the elementary school because I hyperextended my wrist or something. And, like, she got there and she was like, oh, man, that sucks. And she gave me ice.
Was it my mom?
No, it wasn't your mom, because I recognized your mom. But, like, she was like, oh, that sucks. Do you want me to call your mom? And I was like, no way. No way I'm going to tell her that I tripped and fell and hyperextended my wrist. That's so embarrassing.
Yeah.
So I put the ice on it, and I was like, well, guess I'm going to go back to class. And she was like, all right. And then she just walked all the way back to the elementary school. I was like, okay, slay.
Yeah.
She walked?
Yeah, because Cascade and...
No, I went to...
Pacific Crest.
Pacific Crest.
Yeah, Pacific Crest right there. My mom was at Pacific Crest sometimes, but Pacific Crest, my brother still goes there, and apparently it's still bad.
I will not say anything about Pacific Crest.
I mean,
but there is...
I enjoyed my time there, and I think it's like...
There is a middle school that I did attend that may have started with a P and end with a Pacific Crest, but it was not great.
I mean, I made my friends. I think I had a pretty good middle school experience.
If you stayed off the radar, it was fine.
Why was it so bad at Pacific?
Well, it was just new and they didn't know what they were doing.
For us, we had this horrible vice principal, right?
Oh,
he was insane.
Yeah.
And when I tell you he's literally psychopathic, he would go around, he would scare little girls, like 6th graders, in the halls. He would hide behind walls and he'd jump out and scare them and be like, boo. And, like, he would terrify them. And he'd do this, like, every day. No, because he would also scream at people. And I had this thing where, like, we wanted to set up, like, a school paper. So we would, like, me and one other friend, we, like, sat in, like, this office. We didn't have a 7th period.
Yeah.
So we just sat in this office and we, like, did our thing. And every day he would pop in and be like, what you working on today, ladies? And we were like... just this paper. And he's like this like tall balding man, but he would like sneak up behind, he'd snatch the chair out before you could sit in it. He would do like crazy stuff.
Someone did that to me once and I just started sobbing. Like, not even kidding, because my parents had gotten divorced earlier that week, and that just all it took was me pulling the chair from me, and then I just bawled my eyes out in the middle of art class.
It sounds funny, but like if you experience that like day after day for like a year,
you're traumatized. PTSD.
He's like every time, like if I go back to Pacific Crest right now, if I was to wander the halls, I would be sweating, checking for like around the corners for him.
Yeah. I know you don't understand, but little 6th grade me had glasses and braces and didn't know her hair was curly and was going through it. So you're just bullying right now.
That's hilarious.
It's not that funny. I still know the guy that did it.
Cancel
Still
him.
hate him. Still beefing with him.
I mean, low key.
Drop the username.
You should find whatever class he's in. Pull
he
out the
doesn't
chair.
go to class.
No.
Yeah, he's here.
All started with that, huh?
Okay, I think I know who you're talking about.
Did you hear any of that, Milan?
No.
Okay, if you did. To finish out, we are gonna just talk about the rice we ate, because that's gonna be the theme. Whenever we have a guest on, we're gonna bring some food from a local place.
Of course.
Give it a good review.
Give it
or
maybe
a bad
give it a
one,
good review.
or a bad review, and then that'll be it for podcast number 2.
Well, Adri, you wanted the rice. What do you think of the rice?
Jesus.
That was aggressive.
Yes, so I thought the rice was the best rice I've ever had in my entire life. You know,
There's no way.
Yeah, you're lying.
It was like a heavenly experience for me. I would honestly start a club commemorating this rice. It was very expensive.
I would join.
6.
I would join.
Well,
the
how
club.
much would you
I'd
pay
join
for
the
this?
club. Okay, honestly,
it'd be like a great, like, if you're tired rice. Like, you just got out of the airport, you need something to eat.
Yeah, I feel like this isn't a side of rice. This is a meal of rice, and I feel like in order for it to be classified as a meal instead of a side, it needs like an egg on top or something.
Or it needs
like that, you know,
like more meat or vegetables.
Yeah, but
or
I do think
something.
it's like good rice. You know, like I'm enjoying
I don't
myself.
think this is like, and $8 for this is not that bad.
No.
It's like, it's substantial.
It feels like 2 weeks worth of rice. Like, I could probably
We could
ration
ration.
that out.
Mhm.
Yeah. If I was stuck in the wilderness, I would want this rice with me.
Okay, have you watched oh my god, what's that show? Alone? Have you guys watched Alone?
What's alone?
So these contestants, this will be the perfect ending. The contestants, they choose to come onto the, like, they come into the woods and they're like, they try to outlast each other, and the winner gets like $1 million. So it's like wilderness professionals.
Is that the one like in Alaska where they were? I've seen
where
that.
a guy builds a boat.
I've seen that.
Yeah, it's crazy. You should watch it.
He's like, I'm gonna go
No,
bear
watch it.
hunting.
I'm gonna go. That guy killed a deer.
What are you
Like,
gonna do
that's
with a bear?
crazy.
What are you gonna do
You
with
have
a
to
bear?
like make your own hut, make your own shelter.
Yeah.
Don't look at me.
I can
Season finale.
shaking your head.
For
Yeah.
the season finale of the podcast, aren't we spending a week in the woods?
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, for sure. And we're taking everyone actually.
Yeah,
all
we're
of our contestants are coming to the woods with us, and we're gonna make our own shelter, and it'll be live streamed actually.
Yeah, all the previous guests of the podcast are coming with us. They fight in a competition, and last one to survive gets to be on the podcast again.
Yeah, that's true. They get their second episode. They need to
Second
earn
episode.
it. They need to earn it.
You need to fight for that.
Okay,
Well,
we're done.
Yep.
sweet.
Yeah.
It was
Thanks
a pleasure having
yes,
me on.
thanks
Yeah,
for coming,
thank you,
Adri.
Adri.
You're welcome.
Good.
Awesome.
Cut.